Hey guys, it's Gerald Johnson with Ride the Wind. I'm very sorry. It's been a long time since I've done a video, so I'm probably going to sputter a bit. There's so many things to talk about, so many things that I've seen, so much misdirection, so much fighting, so much cognitive dissonance. So many people who won't accept and won't see what the true problem is, which exists within our skies. If you believe that anything on that media or on that TV or within the social media platform, Facebook, Instagram, etc., is true, you're in the wrong place. Because none of it is true. And what we do to further these protests that are on the verge of violence, with a bunch of people wearing masks, breathing their own CO2, creating a ketoacidosis. If you believe in any of that, if you believe in a second wave coming through, then you're on the wrong channel. And I say that with love, and I say it with my heart. But if you want to go in that direction, if you want to follow this BS narrative without considering that all lives matter, all ethnicities matter, and all animals matter, just as much as one man's life, then you're on the wrong channel. If you were not involved in any protests that cover the annihilation of the native Indians, and you think one life against that matters, you're on the wrong channel. If you believe that that whole situation wasn't staged, you're on the wrong channel. If you have not done your research into Floyd, you're on the wrong channel. If you're perpetuating this lie by wearing a mask, you're on the wrong channel. I say that with love. Someone said it very clearly to me this morning. You and I, you guys, my subs, I know I don't need to say that to you. You know already. We know already because we have that ability. We exist on a different plane of understanding. Someone sent to me this morning explaining this. She sent me a picture of the fiery ball here in Arkansas with the old cloud trying to cover it. I've posted many videos on Facebook. This thing is real, and it is the issue, and I'm going to get farther into that. There is nothing else on your priority list that is higher than what I'm about to talk about. And you will understand it because you're subs of mine. You are friends on my Facebook, and you are so intelligent. You're so smart, and you see through all of this. But a select few who are semi-awake still propagate the lie. Anything you post on Facebook that's got to do with their narrative of deception, you are only furthering it, and you are feeding the beast. The beast that does not want us here. The beast that has a plan for us no longer to be here. We are an inconvenience. And the reason that you understand, and again, I'm going to take this from a very, very good friend that I love. Her name is Beverly Allender. Oh, shouldn't say Beverly. We exist on the same plane. While they dream of being awake, we are awake dreaming of sleep. That broke me down to tears. I see the misguided protests. I see no unity. We can have protests in Minnesota. We can have protests in Indiana. We can have them all over the country. But if they are not unified, and if they are not unified for a truthful purpose, other than a charade that they have created, charade after charade, now we've got the second wave. Really? Now you want to stand up for the people or stand against and judge the people that you elected? It's not the police force. Thousands of people have died. White people, black people, Asians, everywhere across the world die. One thing is part of life. If we could take the energy that you're using to fuel their narrative of lies, unify. The only way we're going to get anywhere is unify in a peaceful fashion. First, we start peaceful. Broken protests across the United States will solve nothing. It will only unleash the beast. And I'm not going to explain what that is. I think I've explained it enough. I've posted the videos. I've shown you the tanks. I've shown you the rocket launchers. Keep it up. But know everything that you post about a politician, about anything to do with the narrative that goes on within our mainstream media, which is transposed over to social media, we are the ones who actually push it. They spark the fire, and everybody goes nuts with their posts just to get some likes. My mission is to get people ready for what's popping through. And it's going to pop through. I'm a couple months off. I said 6 months. It's like 7 months. But they're coming through. In other countries, you can see them, and they're big as the sky. Okay? But that's not my real word. We're going to get into that. I am seeing across the world, and I posted this on Facebook, so you new people, I'm trying to explain this to you where I'm at, because I'm getting a lot of questions on Facebook, which I'm trying not to do on Facebook, because I am not going to feed the beast. I'm not going to do it. But I will do it to get the pictures up so you guys can see. That's my only platform I can get up on right now. Okay? How long they last is a question. Okay. So let's get busy. Around the sun, there are 3 asteroids. One is in the 11 o'clock position. That is Swan. Swan shares the same ecliptic of the dragon, Ison. In the 4 o'clock position is Atlas. The green ball, they said, broke up. And all these, they said, broke up. Now, I want you to look them up. Atlas. I want you to look up Barossa. I want you to look up Swan. And you will find out that NASA is using the same pictures, the exact same pictures on all these asteroids. That's why I've taken time to not only digest what I'm seeing, but to figure out, how can I figure anything out? If I go to study Barossa and they're using the same pictures as Atlas. Now be very clear, any of these stories, which began with Ison, that these things broke up is a 100% lie. They are not broken up and they're headed at us. Not only those, but you got Bennu, Regula, and you've got a debris field, which I posted yesterday on my Facebook page, which is the same thing I caught in Euclid and did videos on a year ago, and I said all this was coming. One missed us Sunday. Closer than the moon, 5 times the size of a football stadium. You do not think that these things passing by every day that they're missing, so they say, that one of them's not going to cause an impact? Think again. If you think that military is sitting out there waiting for some type of party, you're wrong. They're waiting for us to flip when these come through. And then it begins. And because you turn your heads, not you such, because you turn your heads from this reality, you box it away. I'm trying to implant into your mind that these things are coming, so when they pop through, you don't flip out. Or at least you flip out on a lower level than just seeing it from out of the blue. That's the only objective I have right now. And I feel bad doing these videos because I do not want to ignite another fire. I do not want to post things on Facebook that will help in any way the plan that they're running. Now here's the kicker. I spoke of ISON. It's burning through the south sky. It's ecliptic. Its ecliptic would be its travel pattern against the solar system. With each ecliptic, it's coming closer, and we are tilting. The Great Lakes are dumping. The plates, the tectonic plates, those are the plates beneath our countries. The tectonic plates are what hold our actual Earth together, are shifting. Last check, magnetic north was in South Siberia, and it's headed towards the equator very quickly. Same with North and South Pole. We're doing this. And when we finally hit this, the bulge in the equator releases. And then we're talking tsunamis 2 miles high. That's what's coming, gang. This is what they're hiding. And they've hid ISON so well. And I believe 100% that ISON, I-S-O-N, is I, comma, S-O-N, ISON. It's on a cloud. And he promised he'd come back 6th week. Well, he's here. And he's very clear in the pictures that I posted. It's 3 asteroids. If you connect them, they create a triangle. Now, isn't that weird? It's the same emblem that the military guys in Guardians of the Galaxy have on their chest. It's the same emblem that Toyota uses on the front of their cars. That is ISON. It is the same image that is now on our new spacesuits. Have you seen it? The white streak? ISON. Which they renamed Wake Tuttle, which I've got the NASA research paper saying it did not break up behind the sun. It moved the sun. It's tilting our universe. It's tilting our solar system, and it's warping the Milky Way. And with each pass of this ecliptic, it comes closer. I used to see this thing light up the sky. It was probably monthly. Now it's weekly, depending on where you're at. This thing is bigger than the sun and it's bigger than the moon. Let me start with a story. About 3 weeks ago. Well, I kind of had to blank out. This is too much. And at the same time, I had the protests going on, so I didn't know what to do. Because again, I don't want to be that guy. My job is to keep people safe, to keep them from not getting hurt. Society, humanity, has definitely proved that they cannot handle this. So I'm in full agreement that you need a military force out there, because the people who do not exist on the plane of being awake are going to flip. And they're going to cause injury to many of us who know, who are awake. I'm saying now, start thinking about getting in a safe place. Start preparing, because we're tilting faster than they can keep track of. You think this virus is a deal? Mm-mm. You think the impeachment was real? Mm-mm. You think the Iran deal was real? Mm-mm. You think this second wave that's coming is real? Mm-mm. You need to start listening to doctors and stop listening to the news. You need to turn it off. You need to not be lazy and open a book. You need to not be lazy and blank these men who have decades and PhDs of research behind them and start listening to them and start denying them and pretending that you have the same intellect that they do, because you don't. With your high school degree, no, I'm sorry. And that's part of the problem with the world today. We are not listening to PhDs. We're listening to Katie Couric. We're listening to whoever. But we're not listening to scientists. Do you notice that everything they state in the news, there's no doctor backing it up. It's just coming out of their mouth. Does that tell you something? If they do, it's posse. Do your background on posse. Okay, so 3 weeks ago, I see it coming in. I'd already caught pictures of it. I was out at the lake. And the X's in the sky that the planes were creating and triangles were leaving shadows on the back sky. How's that work? Anyone explain to me how a cloud on the sky leaves a shadow on the back sky? It's impossible. Unless you've got a layer of crud up there that is reflecting off it. Okay? So I'm looking at this group of people, having a great time on the beach. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and this is how the whole world looks. But it looks like 6 or 7 o'clock. Because these massive planets, we have a simulator. It's to cover the light, it's to cover the planets. Behind that simulator, we have our old sun, which adds to our luminosity. When a massive planet passes in front of our old sun, behind the simulator, our luminosity is decreased by at least 30%, and I can see it every day. It's doing it out there right now. If you put a pair of UV glasses on, you look at a clear blue sky, look around the whole clear blue sky, you'll see a dark, dark blue spot. What do you think that is? Why is the sky doing that? Any answers on that one? If you can't see the reflections that are on speed signs and bank ATM screens, your phone ATM screen of the pattern of red, blue, green, yellow, the elemental colors, then you're sadly missing this whole thing. And there's a majesty in what's happening. He is here. And that's probably the best news that any of us could have. The quarterback is here. Asu is here. And it's time. So I agree that the military should be out there. I don't agree with 50 years that they've known this, to keep this deception so well hid with executive orders and amendments to the Patriot Act. Because as of right now, I lost count 2-3 years ago, we were at 60 million people dead. Now we're over 100 million dead. Every god dang place is shaking. All volcanoes are going off. The storms are 1,700 miles wide. How do you evacuate a space of 1,700 miles? And then they apply social distancing to these shelters. So a bunch are left outside. Check out India. We are being struck. They're hiding those in the news. So, Swan at 11 o'clock. Got Atlas at 4 o'clock. Another one, I don't know, is probably in the 8 o'clock position. Take those, they form a triangle. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about ISON. I'm talking about a system that is 10 times the size of Earth. And when it pulls up, you will not miss it. But once a week, you can look to the south sky and you can see it's on fire. That's opposite of the sun, which is basically setting toward the north right now. I would say northwest. ISON passes in the southeast once a week. It looks like the sky's on fire. And I see cars driving by. This is a problem. This will result in a magnetic reversal. We will flip. The Earth will stop turning. Then the debris fields come in, which I can see now, and you've seen my posts on Facebook, in Germany, what I caught in Euclid a year ago, and I warned all of this. What I caught in Euclid before the cam got shut down, I can now see in Germany in the west sky. I can't count how many are headed at us. It's a field. That's along with the biggies, along with it. I can't tell you how many I'm capturing. I can't explain what I'm seeing. So, the one day, they got this cloud bank. It looks like Kong from Skull Island, right? And I'm looking at, I got 2 people with me. I'm riding them up to get something to eat. They need a ride, right? I didn't have my camera with me. And I'm looking and I'm just like, this is totally jacked up. It does not look right, right? So when we're riding back, I see a fleet of C-130s, like in Coxgull Island, right? And they drive into these clouds and they just disappear. I posted those pictures. I posted a video where I'm focusing on the sun and I do a 90-degree angle, and then opposite the sun is that flaming ball, which I guarantee you, again, is bigger than the sun, bigger than the moon, bigger than anything we've ever seen in our lives. I also caught something else. I've been seeing these lines I've mentioned, right? There are these lines, and I thought they were districts. Districts. Cloaked. Because we have things out there cloaking themselves. Won't get into that. Another video. Something else 1.5 miles long just landed in another part of the world. Same thing that's sitting over top of that volcano, Sakurajima in Japan. Same pattern. This thing is 1.5 miles long. Now there are 2 sitting on Earth. Okay? I'll have those pictures up on Facebook later. Everything I say, I can prove. Everything I say, and I'm not being cocky, I've been right about. Everything I predicted has happened. Do I like being in this position? Do I feel cocky about it? No, it sucks. Now check. I'm watching the sun, and I watch this black beam shoot into it. Black beam lights up the sun. Then the black beam goes up. I've got the pictures before, after, and during. It controls the sun. And there is a focal point for the lensing. These lenses are created by frequency. Know that. There's nothing hanging in the air. It's all done by frequency on a quantum level. But the main point of this video, and I hope it comes out right because it's pausing right now, is to make you understand this. The eclipse, if you go around the world, the sun is eclipsing. The sun simulator, look it up if you don't believe me. If you believe that sun's real, then you need to Google solar simulator, and you'll see that Germany launched one in 2017, so did we, and there were a bunch more lost because no 2 simulators can cover this whole world. They have a designated black dot in the middle, which is a hexagonal appendage that spins within it. I don't know how it works. I know what the parts are, but I don't know how to make them all work. Okay? This orange ball I've tracked over Half Moon Bay, California. I've gotten it over Canada. Okay? I've gotten it over Japan. I just posted a video. You guys just saw that. I got close-ups of it. I'm catching it everywhere now. But the main thing is I'm catching it right outside my door. I'm going to leave this with just for that now. Oh, and they're switching the feeds. Like I said, I'm supposed, and I probably repeat myself, I'm supposed to be looking at Germany in the evening. But it's a different date, and it's a different time that they're feeding into the camps. They're getting shut down, I guess is what I'm saying. The ones that really show something, but I'm pretty good at getting around that. So I'm on the mission. I miss you guys so much. RST, Brandon, Angela, Jane, Paul. I could go on and on with you guys' names. They're holding me up. And then C. And all you people overseas, the way that you see, your politeness, your courteousness, your open minds, the no blockage, seeing reality. You don't know how much I respect and love you. And you guys are coming at me 10 a day at Facebook, and I'm letting you in. I don't want to inflame what's going on. I only want truth. And before we start looking at others and we judge others, our police force, our government, whatever the case may be, which I know is all bad, we need to look at self first. We need to look at ourselves. We need to define what our issues within, because change can only come from within us. And then we can outwardly project that positive, peaceful change. But we can't sit around and judge the people that you elected. We can't sit around and judge a police force you elected. Should have thought of that before. Should have stood up when they locked us in our houses. But you didn't. You didn't stand up at 911. I've seen no commemorative walk or whatever you want to call it, parade for the annihilation of a whole culture, a whole race that we call the Native Americans. Gone. The whining to me, misplaced, misguided direction. People die. And before this is over, many more will. Well, let's fight for what's true. Let's fight for what's right. Let's check ourselves inwardly. Make sure we're right before we judge any others. And we can't do that anyway. We can't. We can't even make decisions on others because that's not our job. All we can look is inward and focus love. Focus forgiveness. Forgive these people. If we were all on that level of forgiveness and unification, we might get somewhere. But in the path that we're traveling, that is not happening. And that scares me most. It's not the planets, it's not the asteroids, it's not any of that. It's man. I used to say man, but now it's society that horrifies me. Because they buy anything you feed them. Stay strong, stay safe. I will have another video up soon. I hope this one came out well. I respect all of you, your support. I give you as much love and more back. Keep your eye to the skies. Be aware of these storms. Do not underestimate them. And start thinking about prepping. If you are not prepping now, I suggest you start. They talked about the 7th and 8th, clicking stuff off for the 3 days of darkness. Did anybody suffer an interruption on the 7th, which will be the day before my birthday? By the way, I had my son up here. We had a great time. Okay. It went out that day, the day that Q said it would, but they just blinked it. But that was to just flex their muscles. It's coming, gang. I want y'all to be safe, and I want y'all to know church and know what you're talking about. Okay? I love y'all. I will answer more questions in the next one, but the main thing is we are surrounded by massive planets that you're not seeing, but they're there. And we have asteroid fields and very large asteroids headed at us. So it's got nothing to do with the narrative that you're seeing on mainstream media. The number one thing on their list is exactly what I'm talking about, and they will do anything to cover it. Because again, and I have to agree, we have proved ourselves as not being else. Much love. This is Ride the Wind. I'll have another video out soon. Thank you, guys. God bless you. You're in my prayers. Always. Thank you.